And we are back, and we just finished watching 2022's The Gray Man, rated PG-13 with a runtime of 2 hours and 2 minutes. This is currently streaming on Netflix and is directed by the Russo brothers, Anthony and Joe Russo, with writing credits to Joe Russo, Chris Markus, Stephen McFeely, and based on a book by Mark Greaney.
Good enough for me.
Like Greaney, Greaney. Yeah.
Greaney, yeah.
Like the little.
Like what we would feed the cat. Yep.
I know you mentioned this was currently streaming on Netflix, right?
Yeah, I think it was a Netflix exclusive. I don't think it was ever released in theaters, was it?
I don't think so.
Unless they released it for like a day so they can get like awards and whatnot.
I don't think so. I think this was just a regular summer Netflix little thing. I think I thought I read somewhere that they trying to do like monthly movies or something, or like one big premiere.
So you think they're going to do monthly movies?
I think that's part of the plan. Like they release stuff on a monthly basis, whether it's a show or a movie, because they have to every month. They're always streaming crap.
Well, when did they release this one?
This came out. When the hell did this come out?
It was earlier this summer, right?
It was like last month, wasn't it? According to IMDb, July 22nd. So
okay, so yeah, it hasn't been on that long, maybe about a month. So what was the big August thing? If that was the July one, what's the August one?
I mean, maybe Sandman? Was Sandman like the big August premiere?
Yeah, I guess. But I thought you were saying they were going to release a movie.
Don't they try to? Like every month?
Well, that's what I mean. Sandman's a show. Maybe it's.
I'm always looking at these lists, like what to stream this weekend. There's always like new crap coming out, whether it's like old TV shows, like old seasons of Barney Miller or whatever the hell it is. I don't know. I'm sure somebody out there wants to say it.
Barney Miller.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. Oh well. If they do it, I hope that they're all as good as this one. This one was fun.
Yes, I don't even know why we got off on the tangent, but yes, this was absolutely a treat. Really fun.
Yeah.
Didn't feel like 2 hours.
No, it didn't feel like 2 hours. The pacing was good. It went along. I enjoyed all the characters. I mean, all the actors are great. I love
fantastic.
Ryan Gosling's great. Chris Evans is great. Anna de Armas. Yeah, all of them did a great job.
Really fantastic. Really fantastic.
Great fight choreography.
I was just gonna say, it's funny because we had just watched, or we talked about Prey and Predator, and you rightfully so brought that up about how movies in the 80s just didn't care about the way they looked, and now that is not the case. I mean, this movie is from start to finish a feast for the eyes. There's always something going on. It's beautifulully shot. There's some really great locations. I mean, I don't know if they're going to all of these places that they mention, but it looks like it to me. Yeah, looked like it to me. So, yeah, hats off on the production portion of this, but also on the storytelling side. And I guess the Russos, having already had their success with Marvel, is just taking that to the next.
Well, I feel like they really have the knack of playing with a lot of characters and getting you to be interested in pretty much all of them.
Yeah.
Like even the minor characters, they were interesting. I mean, Jessica Henwick and the guy from Bridgerton, Billy Bob Thornton. Not a major role, but I was interested. Alfre Woodard, in it for a hiccup, but she was great.
She had a great scene, and you cared about
Danush or whatever the hell that. I don't know what his name was in real life, or I think that's what his name is in real life. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I'm terribly sorry if I insulted you. You were fantastic in this movie. I loved your character.
Yeah,
the honorable assassin guy. You know, and that's like you see that trope kind of in like Asian cinema where like the evil bad guy has the one henchman who's like just a total badass, but he has this sort of like code of honor.
Ethics. Yeah.
Like Mad Dog in The Raid.
Yes. And funny enough, you brought up that you like this.
Yeah,
this was very reminiscent
during
of
that scene in the
Dog.
OR with that guy, him, Anna de Armas and Ryan Gosling and God, I feel bad if I'm saying it. I think that's how it was in the credits. He has one name. It was like Dunush or something like that.
Let's see if I can find it.
Danush, yeah.
Danush.
Great fight.
Danush.
And he's just like, he sees he's like surrounded by these two people who clearly know how to fight, and he's just like, come on, take it from me. You know?
Yeah, they all, and you know, it's funny. I know you've mentioned this in the past, but it's so important to see these fight scenes. I mean, you can do stylized stuff with them, like how they did in The Matrix and stuff, but I love being able to see the movement and stuff. And when it's shot in an interesting way, as this was, and I think also the choreography was planned in a very great way that it kept you interested. I mean, again, the Russos, I mean, we've talked about this before. Some of the better storytelling in Marvel, in the MCU, are those Captain America stories. So they've already...
Those films are the best of the bunch.
Yeah, well, as far as like...
Trilogies
go. Yeah, sure. But I mean, they have the pedigree. They've had the experience. They know what they're doing. There's no money wasted here, obviously. I mean, everything is thought out and planned out and just... is such a treat. And I'm sure this is why certain actors are always like, yeah, they want to make a movie, sign me up. I mean, I'm sure they could have worked with somebody else other than Chris Evans, but
yeah, it was also it felt like a sort of a little bit of a Knives Out reunion with Chris Evans and Anna de Armas.
Yes.
And it was like funny because it's like I'm watching it and I'm like, oh, it's Ransom and I forgot Anna de Armas' character's name, but they're brawling, like they're actually like coming to fisticuffs, which didn't happen, and obviously
and I am, you know, it's funny. We also recently talking about Predator, and the companion piece to this is going to be Aliens from '86, James Cameron's. Mm-hmm. So the tie-in here is the action movie, but it's funny because
action movies with strong women.
Well, there's that, but I just like the return of the action hero. I feel like, not that action movies don't happen, but it's funny because this is a streaming movie. It's not like a big blockbuster in the cinema type thing. This was a streaming service movie.
Yeah.
And it almost feels like there's kind of a resurgence of this. Like, what was the other thing that's on my list to watch? The one with Chris Pratt. And is it Chris Evans? What is it called? The Terminal List or something?
I think that's what it's called. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, there's like, it feels like there's, again, this push. Not that there isn't, but it just seems like there's this push to action movies. And now, like you've noted, I think that filmmakers take good care of making sure that not only are you seeing these action sequences, but they're accompanied by compelling stories, really marquee good actors, which also help, right? Because I mean, you could have had Chris Evans, somebody else other than Chris Evans in this, but he was so deliciously bad in this. It was just so great. And listen, as far as I'm concerned, that guy could do anything. He's just one of those guys. He can be a good guy, but he can also be a heavy. And it's always nice to see him play the heavy, because I think everybody associates Captain America with him, like good, wholesome American values. Always do the right thing. But it's nice to see him be kind of an asshole.
Oh God, yeah.
And he was a jerk in Knives Out, but this was like
way over the top. Yeah, he's like
beyond.
He's like gonna kill children.
Yes, and with no remorse. With a clear head,
no remorse at all. If you're gonna make an omelet, you gotta kill some people.
I know. I was like, that's not how the line goes. This guy's nuts.
He just and he was just so willing to let all those people die. Like,
did not give a shit.
Jessica Henwick's like, they're killing cops, and he's just like sending everybody. Yeah, there was a lot of like, seriously, that parts of this reminded me of sort of like of Hard Boiled. John Woo movie, because there's like scenes like that where it's just like, oh, they're killing innocent people, you know, the innocent must die. The bad guy is just so evil.
Well, I mean, I'm sure a lot of these movies they come from somewhere, right? Because these filmmakers or these makers grew up watching other stuff, and I'm sure Hard Boiled is definitely
super influential.
Yeah, been a template for a lot of people to basically rip off.
Yeah.
Did you have a favorite character in this?
It's hard to pinpoint because, like I said,
the three main leads were outstanding.
The three main leads were great. I mean, I loved everything that the three of them did.
Yeah.
And like, I never was like, as soon as any of them were on the screen, I was like invested. They kept me interested throughout. This
is definitely Ryan Gosling's movie. And I think at one point,
he's the gray man. So
yes, and I think at one point I turned to you and I was like, again, we had just watched Predator, so it was like I'm still in Arnold Schwarzenegger mode, right? And I'm like, I mean, I know that he's done stuff action-y before, but this feels like the first time seeing Ryan Gosling as the main lead action guy. And I was like, you know what? I'm okay with this going in this direction because he's definitely charismatic enough. He definitely can pull it off. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's young enough that he can like bulk up for these roles and do all this. Like some of the scenes in this were just like, wow. Like I was really impressed with the little trolley scene. I thought that was magnificent. The one that you mentioned, the one with Diarmas and Gosling fighting Nanush in the room.
The room, yeah.
Which also reminded us of a lot of the Raid, right? A lot of that.
Yeah, just in the way like they were fighting and he was working with both of them at the same time, fighting them both at the same time. The way like kicks would come out of in strange places, taking people off their feet. A lot of people getting flung around.
Yes.
I mean, there was a lot of using leverage to hurl somebody into something hard.
Yes.
And that's always great in a scene. It just looks amazing when you see just like carnage and stuff flying all over the place. People going hurled through windows and walls, and it's just. It's so much more exciting.
Yes, absolutely, absolutely.
I'm not saying like they didn't care in the 80s. They did. It's sort of like they didn't know you could bring it to that level.
Yeah.
You think about the fight scenes in older movies, and it's a lot of punching. Sometimes they'll throw a fist at the camera, and the other guy's head they'll cut the scene, and the guy will go flying back.
Yeah.
But that's basically what it is. A lot of punching, a lot of knees to the belly.
Yeah.
Choke holds, people just getting like wild haymakers.
Yeah.
And it's just like block, parry, punch, kick. It all fits.
Seamless.
And it's really fast. It's just brutal. It's kinetic. And they know how to work with an environment. They really take advantage of environments now as far as the fight choreography goes.
Yeah.
It becomes like another character almost, and we're in an OR. All right, well, how are we gonna work the defibrillator into the fight?
Yeah.
And they not only did they use it the way you expect, but then that guy's like using it like almost like nunchucks. It was like, what? He just got electrocuted. Now he's just wailing the shit out of these two with the defibrillator heads. So damn good. And then he gets away. He wins.
Yeah. Well, he didn't get his money. But
yeah, I mean, come on, Chris Evans was a douchebag.
Yeah,
he probably wouldn't have paid him anyway.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't whip out his gun as soon as he gave him the asset. And
yeah.
Whoops.
Well, you know what? I mean, if they do make a sequel, that guy's coming back. You know that guy.
I hope so. I hope they have like another little.
He was too classy looking and well trained to be like, hey, he's a one-off character. We'll never bring him back again.
Yeah.
That guy was good.
Yeah, no, from start to finish. I mean, again, like, you know, we talk about old movies that we've seen in the past, like this relentless action, right? It just doesn't stop. And it was like, I agree with you. I never checked my phone. I didn't get up once.
No.
I was just like, I was in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was funny when we were watching it and Olive was watching it with us. And there's a scene where like Chris Evans is going to torture Billy Bob.
Oh yeah.
And he grabs like Billy Bob's ears. He doesn't really do anything. And Al was like, done. Okay, that's it, I'm done. And she leaves. And like Chris Evans is just like, yeah, you see that thing I did with your ears? That didn't do anything.
Yeah, I just made that up on
the spot.
Yeah, I was like, that didn't. I mean, it looked uncomfortable, but it didn't look like it was. I mean, the thing that happens after obviously is a million times more crazy than that, right? But yeah, I mean, just so damn good. I mean, the pacing, the locales, the costuming, the cars, the fight sequences, the car chases,
and like the banter, the dialogue,
yes,
the delivery of the lines, everything was just good. It was,
and the actors were all fantastic.
Everybody did a great job. Yeah,
amazing, top to bottom. What did you have a favorite scene in this?
I mean that crazy action sequence with the trolley was great.
Yeah.
But as far as like the fighting goes, I would probably say that fight in
the three-way. Yeah.
The three-way in the OR. He had a good fight with Evans at the end. But that one in the OR was just like a step above.
Yeah. Still Gosling's movie, so would like to see more of this from this young man. I feel like. I mean, I don't know if his body can handle it, but I myself would like to see more of him doing this. Also, he's due for a
franchise, that guy.
He's way due for a franchise. He's kind
of at the age where it's just like, okay, I've made a lot of artsy films and whatnot. Let's just go.
Just a little bit of everything.
Let's just go for the franchise.
He doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
We talk about how great he is in The Nice Guys.
Oh God, The Nice Guys. You know, this with the way the banter was, it reminded me a lot of The Nice Guys.
Yeah.
And that's probably like why I would like to see more of this. And I really wish we could see more of The Nice Guys. I would love to revisit those characters.
Yeah. Please make it happen, Oprah. People listen to you. Mm-hmm. And also, I was going to say, let us not sleep on Ana de Armas.
She's amazing. Yeah.
She is fucking kick-ass. She was
the only good thing in that last Bond movie.
She really was. And there was not enough of her.
She was only in it for like 15 minutes.
Not even, I don't think.
And in this, it's like, okay, this...
She gets a little bit more time.
She gets a little bit more time.
She's still badass.
She's badass. She has a great character. She's messing people up.
Good for her. Fuck everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah. I really liked her character.
Yeah.
And she knows how to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
It's so weird because you think of her in Knives Out. She's like this little mousy caregiver.
She's meek. She's going to vomit if she lies.
Yes.
You know? But in this, she's just
she is just
up.
Brutal. Brutal. Good
and
for
like,
her.
And like it's nice when
it.
It's choreographed in a way where you're like, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
She's messing this dude up, and I don't feel like it's
half-assed
weak
or weird
at all or anything like that.
Yeah, no. Good job. Again, I mean, you have the Russos at the helm, so it's like...
Yeah,
I mean,
those
you
guys,
can't...
They got a good... They know how to put a good team together.
Yeah, and they do. I mean... They're really good. You know, you mentioned the stuff about like big ensembles, right? I mean, you really do care about all these characters, and I think they have a really great springboard having worked on these MCU movies. I mean, those Captain America movies, they're no joke. There's a ton of people in that stuff, and you have to make an audience sit there and care about these characters.
I mean, they just seem to have a knack with like giving everybody enough screen time and enough dialogue to make it work, and that's hard because there are films
not
where
everyone
like,
can do that.
You have a big cast, but it's just like, oh, they could have gotten rid of 4 of those people.
Exactly.
I mean, look at the Eternals.
Oh God,
there's so many characters, and like so many of them just got short shrift. It was like,
I can't believe they're bringing that back. I mean, well, whatever. Let's not talk about it.
I hope it's not an actual movie, and maybe they're just in the background of other movies. Or
Hopefully,
and like not all of them. Like, okay, let's bring back. Let's make up a name. Juju B or whatever the hell. I don't even know the name of the characters anymore.
Well, the King of the North can't come back. We know that.
Yeah, you know what? He flew into the sun. He could maybe he's like supposed to be Superman. Superman flies into the sun. He gets stronger.
Does he? Oh, God. Anyway, anything else you want to talk about in this film?
Not really. Just if you haven't seen it, I would say watch it. It's really good.
Totally
you will
worthwhile.
Not be disappointed,
Very
especially
fun.
if you love action movies.
Yeah.
Go watch it. It's
and
good.
even if you don't like action movies, I think. I mean, obviously, if you're an action movie person, this is definitely in your wheelhouse. But if you like good stories, strong performances, eye candy, I mean, this has a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, for the ladies, you've got those two Canadian hunks stealing American jobs.
Chris Evans is Canadian?
Oh, no, he's from Boston.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Ugh, he might as well be Canadian.
What? That doesn't even make sense. Canadians don't speak like people from Boston.
No, but you know.
And the Canadians are supposed to be polite. I don't know people from Boston.
They're not nationalistic up there. I don't know. Because Boston's like its own.
I know. It's
like its own. I don't even know how to
describe.
Today the day. It's the best.
I know. Start wailing on somebody for staring at their Boston lager.
Oh God!
You looking at my Sam Adams?
I'm laughing because it's all true, but I'm thinking Ryan Reynolds because Ryan Reynolds is in everything, right? So he's the other Canadian.
Yeah, the other Canadian Ryan.
Yes, but really good matchup here between the two, like Chris and Ryan. Just really good. Just everything, right? Physically, you could see the two of them just taking each other on and like wailing on each other. And it was. And
Evans was
he was so good.
Douchey mustache and everything.
It was ridiculous. He was ridiculous.
Like such a jerk.
Yeah, but he played that so well. Yeah. Oh my God! He's one of those guys that like I'm completely sold. You don't have to tell me anything, but it's so funny because he really does do the good guy stuff really well. Mm-hmm. But I really have an affinity for his bad guys. I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I'm not his business manager, but I mean I hope he always does that, like weaves back and forth between the two because I think he really does a good heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, it's nice to see Ryan Gosling sort of branch out. I mean, did I force you to watch that awful movie?
The one in Thailand?
Yeah, I did, didn't I? Did. Yeah. I still don't know how to feel about that.
I barely remember any of it.
It was wild, wasn't it?
It was just weird.
It was weird, but it was just whatever. We don't have to go. I don't even know why I brought that up. It's just nice to see him do, I guess, kind of stuff not in his comfort zone because I feel like he's more of like an outlier kind of actor. I think he purposely looks for strange, unique stories to tell, and I think that's great. But at the same time, why not let a big studio just pay you a ton of money and just
make a popcorn
film? I love stuff like that. I love it. Yeah. So more of that for him, for Chris, and definitely, yes, somebody write Anna de Armas an amazing, like, kick-ass woman script.
Yeah.
I'm ready for that. Make it happen. Because she is another one to watch. Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's charming. She's beautiful. She has the physicality to do it. And I mean, I don't know if there's stunt doubles. I didn't deep dive on this film, but it looks like she's involved in a lot of her performance. So,
yeah, I didn't see any. I mean, I'm not like examining it with a microscope and a reel to reel. So, you know.
All right, numbers 1 to 10.
I'd give this like an 8.5.
8.5. Oh wow.
I like this a lot.
I like this a lot, but I was gonna go 7. But that's low, isn't it? This is definitely better than a 7.
I thought this was great. So if 5 is meh, 6 is okay, 7 is good, 8 is great.
8 is great. 8. You know what? You're right. 8 is great, and I too am going to give this an 8.5. You are absolutely right. This is a near. I mean, what could have made this better? I mean, it's not a 10.
I don't have any complaint. There wasn't any tacked on romance.
Yes, I also appreciate that. Thank you for bringing that up.
There wasn't any like slow bits and there wasn't stuff that like you were just like, why did that happen?
Yeah.
Who's that guy? I thought they killed that guy. I thought he was on their side. No, there's none of that. There's no confusing it. I mean, they're not gonna break your brain with twists and turns. It was a very direct story. Mm-hmm. It made sense. That's all I need. That seriously, if I'm going to watch an action movie, you did a great job. If you make a story that's
take me
from point A to point B, tell me about all the characters and their lives. Write some snappy dialogue. I mean, we've moved beyond weird catchphrases and ridiculous jokes like "I let them go" or "stick around." We're not in Schwarzenegger era. But if you could make the characters say little quips and whatnot that fit the moment, that seem natural, and that show me the charm of these characters, and then beautifully choreographed violence in between all that.
Fantastic.
I'm a happy guy.
Yeah.
You made me happy. I don't need Inception level twists and turns. Sometimes that's great. But not for this. This was a nice, solid action movie.
Yeah. Give credit to the Russos. Know your audience.
Mm-hmm.
Make this pop. Make it fun. Keep it interesting. And I think they do that in spades here. I also want to give them a proper shout out because I think they are master storytellers. I mean, this stuff, I'm sure it's not easy.
Especially with so many characters.
Especially with so many characters.
Like I was saying, it is a talent to take a large cast and
make you give a shit.
Make you give a crap about every character and not like just shortchange any of them really and use them to varying. Obviously, some characters are not going to get the screen time as others. You're going to focus on the mains, but at least the characters that aren't main, you still know about them. You still, what they're doing in the background doesn't feel like an afterthought. It's not just like, oh, you were in the spaceship the entire time? Okay. You don't have any of that. It's these people are doing their thing, and it makes sense when they reappear and leave and come back.
I also wanted to, I don't know how to introduce this thought, but I also wanted to highlight something. I don't want to give too much away because this is a recent release. But again, I mean, I don't know if giving away stuff is even a possibility here, but I do want to highlight a scene that happens later in the film. It's a flashback to Six's youth. It's not in the film for very long, but it packs a punch because it's intercut with something that's happening present day. And I think the past complements the storytelling because you had the beginning where Six's character meets the handler in the beginning, right? So you're building this, and I love that the Russos, I mean, obviously there can be exposition and stuff like that, but these guys are definitely show, don't tell kind of guys, to me at least. And I think that is important. I mean, you could do the other thing too, but I think this way of storytelling is very, very important. And I think what I want to say here is for people that want to learn the art of storytelling, the art of filmmaking, of telling stories with pictures, definitely, there is no higher compliment, right? Follow these guys, watch what these guys do. And if this is what you want to do, learn from the best. These guys, I mean, there's a reason why they get paid big money to do what they do. It's because they do it so well. And for all of the reasons that we've highlighted here. again, if you're a young person, if you want to get into the business of making movies, of telling stories, learn from the greats. We all had all these great masters in the past, and their ideas and thoughts and just the way they would present stories gets filtered through their fan base. And when you look at a Russo picture, you see shades of other things, but it's told in a way that's specific to these two. And so now they've joined this kind of universe of storytellers, right? That's like so rich and amazing. And they really do a really good job. I mean, you can pass them off as like, yeah, whatever, they're big bang bang kind of people. You know what? Just because it doesn't work for you doesn't mean it doesn't deserve to like be out in the universe. Everybody's story should be told. And I think, again, if this isn't your cup of tea, all right, whatever, keep it moving, right? But if you're willing to look past that and really look at this picture, it's a story. It's a story with very compelling characters, with very interesting set pieces and plot points and stuff. If you're willing to really just sit there and like absorb that, that's awesome. And if you can learn from it, and if you want to be that as you get older, keep dreaming and keep doing it and just hold on to that and reach your goal. I mean, I think it's so important to encourage people, especially now, to find the thing that they want to do, because you don't want to get stuck in a career that's mind numbing and soul crushing. So again, hats off to all the storytellers. Thank you so much, Anthony and Joe Russo, for bringing us another fantastic little bit of storytelling and excitement. Thank you to all the cast and all the crew that made this experience possible. Thank you to Netflix. Really just well done. Well done. And Netflix, even if your share prices go down, please don't do what HBO Max is doing. You gave it an 8.5. I gave it an 8.5. Any more notes here, or we're going to wrap this up?
No, let's wrap it up.
And that is it from us. Definitely go check out The Gray Man, currently streaming on Netflix with a runtime of, what did I say, 2 hours and 2 minutes, rated PG-13. Yeah, that was another thing. It's not gratuitous violence, right? There's not a lot of cursing.
It's not gory, even when people get stabbed and whatnot or shot.
Or shot at.
It's not really that bloody. I mean, there is blood.
Yes.
But it's not like Raid. It's not like
No, not like that at all. Yeah. And cussing, not really. I mean, there might have been a word here or there.
I think there's a couple of curse words. They use the allotted amount that would get them the PG-13.
Yes. So we saw this with our 10-year-old, although she wasn't really paying attention. Yeah. Did our oldest stay for most of it? I don't even remember. I was since they didn't have to be involved in the review, they were pretty much on their phones. Okay, so yes. I mean, I don't think that there was anything objectionable.
They could have totally watched this.
Yeah. And yes, thank you for bringing up that also no tacked on romance. Thank you.
Yes, there was an absolute respect between Six and Ana de Armas' character, but there was no hint of romance, which is so appreciated because it's just so
weird sometimes. Yeah,
it's like, oh wow, yeah. Let's get married at the end of the movie, you know.
Yeah.
I remember in Commando, like at the end, Ray Sean gets off the plane and it's just like, yeah, you're my girlfriend now. And it's like, what?
That's so weird.
It's
yeah.
just like they fell in love through all this.
You know what's so funny? I mean, it was the 80s. We weren't really.
Yeah, I didn't give a shit.
We didn't give a shit. Yeah, we were completely fine. I mean, you're the one that actually made me look at Overboard differently. I've been watching that movie for years, decades even, and not even like just thought about the ethics of that. And I was just like, oh, when you brought it up, I was like, oh, that's interesting. He's right.
Sweetest story of gaslighting ever.
But it's America's Sweethearts.
Yeah.
Goldie and Kurt.
Yeah, it's sweet and innocent.
Until it's not.
Unless you really dig deep. But that's not... You're not supposed to dig deep into Overboard. Come on.
Yeah. And everybody has a happy ending at the end.
Don't ask how the sausage is made. Okay.
All right. We're getting loopy. It's late. All right. That's it from us, and we will bid you all a good night.
Good night.